Hey there, guys, and welcome to Q&A number 6. And let me consume this. Hang on. I'm trying this stuff out. I love energy drinks because rather than have a Coke addiction, I refer to these. Has anyone tried this out? It kind of tastes like a fruity. It tastes like fruity piss. That's what it tastes like. But I didn't say that was a bad thing, did I? All right, so let's just jump into the questions everyone asked a few weeks back as we try to finish them off. So the first question comes from a good buddy of mine, the Crazy Jason. If you ever made a porno, what kind of porno would it be? Would it have a specific fetish or be straight sex? Tell me about the lighting, the angles, and the story. I want details. Oh, shit. Okay. If I could make any kind of porno I wanted. Okay, here's where you guys are going to get the truth about old Johnny Boy. I would like it to take place in an alleyway. I like the lighting to be very harsh, very naturalistic. I don't like a lot of warm tones. I don't like warm lighting. I like harsh, cold lighting. I want it to look like it was shot on a stormy day. It would be... what else? It would be, I guess, straight sex, a man and a woman. Would it have a specific fetish? No. But it would have nice camera angles. And I'm not talking about all the zoom shots. I'm talking about nice wide angles. You know, there's something about the human body that's just beautiful. And not to show the whole thing there is just, it's a waste. You know what the sad thing is? I could literally talk about details and details amongst details for the next 20 minutes, but I think that answered it fair enough. It would be, maybe she was a streetwalker and a cop pulled her over, like found her in the alleyway. So rather than turn her in, that's the story. That's, you guys use your imagination. That's where it's going to go. It's like kind of like when authority meets weakness. Okay, so let's get into the other questions here. When did you start loving movies? Oh God, okay, there we go. Does everyone feel a little bit more at ease now? I first started loving. I've always loved movies ever since I was young. I remember laying on our couch watching beta tapes of movies like Terminator T or The Warriors or Roadhouse. My whole family's always kind of been into movies, ever since I can remember, I remember watching and liking them. First time you fingered a girl, Jesus, it never stops. You know, I love my viewers, though, I really do. You guys are, you're phenomenal. First time I ever, let's see. I want to give you guys an honest answer, I really do. Sixth grade? Maybe 7th grade. 7th grade. Tell us a story of when you were really drunk. One time, and this is, God, I'm never going to be an advocate for safety behind the wheel ever. But here's a true story. In high school, we were at my friend's house who lives out in the country. I was super drunk, but I'm one of those people that I know I'm drunk. My vision's impaired, but I understand it is. But if I just stay focused, I can do it. I know I can drive home if I am. But listen, here's how responsible I am. I had my friend come with me, and this was all on backcountry roads. There's no other cars or anything. I had my friend sit there beside me, and I was like, keep your hand on the wheel. If something bad happens, man, you take over. But I was like, I can do this. So I'm sitting there, blurry-eyed. I can barely see. I'm like focusing so hard driving home. And my friend's kind of like, he's sitting over there and he's kind of watching me. And I'm going like under the speed limit. We weren't going to get wrapped around a telephone pole or anything. And I drove home perfectly. Like, I actually went under the speed limit. Usually when I'm not drunk, I'm driving over the speed limit. I'm not wearing a seatbelt. So usually I'm a little more focused when I drive drunk. And that sounds so bad and so awful, but I don't drive drunk. I don't even drink anymore. So no worries, okay? Do you have a special movie that you use in the background while you're having sex? No, but I do remember I do remember what was on. We were watching Ghost. Now you try to make love to a woman while Patrick Swayze's on a 50-inch TV. It's not the easiest thing to do. Actually, you know what? To be honest with you, it made it easier. There it is. Do you ever wash your Batman mask? You know what's funny about that? I actually went to a pal of mine, Chris Stuckman's house, and he borrowed my mask, and he rubbed black paint all over his eyes to actually get the Batman effect. He forgot to wash it out very good, so the next day or a couple days later I'm making a YouTube video. I have it on, I take it off, and it looks like I have dirt. It looks like I work in a coal mine or something, and I didn't see it. Anyway, if you guys want to see that video, that was my last flick trip video on my other channel, the Flick Pick. If you look closely, when I'm sitting in my car, you're gonna see like little black smudges all over my face. Do you ever still buy DVDs? I do still buy DVDs. Actually, I bought one a week or so ago. Where is it? Where did I put it? It's a phenomenal film. It's a classic. I don't organize my movies. I don't know where I put it. Shit. Anyway, it was Small Soldiers. You guys remember that movie? I bought that a few weeks ago. Show us your arm muscle. No, come on, I can't. That's too much. Maybe... No, I can't do it. Best sci-fi movie from 2000 and present. Best sci-fi movie from the last 12 years. That's a tough one, man. To be honest, I feel like all the good sci-fi movies came from the 1990s and 1980s. Now, if I really have to give you an answer of a good sci-fi movie over the last 12 years... I don't think I can do it. I'm looking here at my movies, really trying to configure my thoughts, but I don't... District 9 was a pretty interesting sci-fi movie. I don't think it was the best sci-fi movie of the last 12 years, but District 9 was original, at least. Okay, let's try to cover these quicker. Great video around the 17-minute mark. I think the person asking you the question about Steve... Okay. Here's my question. What brand is your media shelf tower, and where did you get it from? My DVD shelf back there I bought from Amazon. I don't remember the brand or anything off the top of my head, but if you guys really want to know where to get it, on the Flick Pick channel, if you search under my videos, if you search for new DVD Blu-ray shelf or whatever, it's one of the first videos I ever made. I have a link there that goes directly to Amazon. This thing was about, I think it was almost $200, and it's made out of particle board and shit. It's kind of janky, but it's the best one I could find. If Cheryl Cole was coming to your house to watch a movie, which movie would you pick for an instant score? Google her name if you don't know what she looks like. Do I have to really Google Cheryl Cole? Okay, you guys are gonna stay here with me as I Google her name. Cheryl Cole. Let's find her. You guys always ask the most odd questions. Oh my God, Jesus. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, I can't hold my computer up. Shit. What am I doing? Did I just turn it off? Technical diff... Oh, there we go. Okay. Fuck it. You guys, just Google her name. You're gonna see who she is. She is beautiful. She is a woman that I could wake up to every day and just instantly, I would do whatever she says. Hey, John, get on all fours, and yeah, I would. I'd eat dog food. So which movie would I put in? I don't think I'd have time for a movie. I don't think she could stop me once she was in my presence anyway, because once you come into the dungeon, it's over. No one can hear your screams anymore. If you were a... Jesus Christ. Do you guys... Never mind. If you were a superhero, mass vigilante, what would your name be and your persona? I have always wanted to be a Batman kind of figure. I'd have to be rich, obviously, but I would be called no, that's not original. I'd be called the Flicker, and I would be wearing a yellow jumpsuit with like a maybe some black racing stripes, and then I'd have what kind of mask would I wear? I don't know. You know, to be honest, I just dress up like Batman, but instead of a bat symbol, I just put a big F right there. And then my bat suit would be like neon yellow for some odd reason. Are there any words of wisdom you'd like to pass along to me? Words of wisdom. Do what you want to do, as long as it makes you happy, and it won't put you in handcuffs. That's my only motto. I'll take everything to the extreme, as long as you won't be arrested for it. That's honestly how you have to live life, you know? If you were an MMA fighter, what would your nickname be, and what would you choose as your entrance music? Ooh, that's a good one. That is... if I was an MMA fighter, I would be called John the Batman Flickster, and there's actually this hard rock version of a Batman theme music. It's online. It's pretty badass. I always thought it'd be like a good theme music for if you had like a whole Batman persona, but you're kind of trying to be a badass at the same time. Here, I'll play a little bit for you guys here. Let me find it here. All right, you guys ready for this? Get ready. I don't know how good that came across on the microphone, but that's what it would be. Did you ever spread your ass in front of the mirror? I actually had a girlfriend one time who wanted to shave that for me. I can't even read this next question. That's how far... Like, I'll read that one, but the next one I can't even read. It goes so far. But to Blu-ray Mex 23... yes. Okay. How old are you? I'm 25. What is your favorite color? My favorite color is, I'm gonna have to go with blue. What is your favorite movie or favorites? My favorite movies are Stand By Me, Point Break, Terminator 2, Forrest Gump, The Shawshank Redemption. Do you like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3? I like all the Call of Duty games, even though they kind of started to get a little bit repetitive, and then everyone exploits the glitches after like 2 weeks of them coming out, so they kind of get a little bit annoying. Plus, when I play online with little kids and they have their little squawking voice, I shot you. No, you didn't, motherfucker. I hope you die. You know, I get really angry, and then I end up breaking my headsets and control. You know how many controllers I've broken on my Xbox 360? I throw so many things against the wall when I get pissed off. Like, I'll be doing really good. I'll have like a perfect kill streak going. I'm like 20-0 in a free-for-all deathmatch. And then all of a sudden, some little camper shoots me on the ground. Oh, I punch myself in the head. I throw the controller against the wall. That's the truth. If the new Batman is better than The Dark Knight, will you die happily in the theater? I did see The Dark Knight Rises a few weeks ago. And to me, I prefer the new movie over The Dark Knight, just because it really did expand on everything. I mean, really, when you look at The Dark Knight, take the Joker's performance out of that movie, and you know, it's still amazing. It's still a great movie, but take the Joker's performance out of there, and it really does take it down quite a bit. Why don't you have Lord of the Rings movies? That's a long story. I have a long debate about the Lord of the Rings. Now, do I like the movies? Yes. They're great. They're cinematic masterpieces. But there's just something about those movies that I can't watch very often. And I understand a lot of people love them. I get it. I do. But I want the good Blu-ray editions of those, but I want them for a very cheap price. So that's what I'm kind of waiting on. From Scotland, will you ever make a short film? I would, you know, I like to make skits, but as far as a short film goes, I'm not against it. If I came up with a concept like of a 10-minute, 12-minute short movie idea, I'd definitely be into doing something like that. The only problem is I'm one of those people that as soon as I get an idea, I have to rush out and do it. And to make a short film, I feel like I'm going to have to get people involved and rely on them, and it's kind of a pain in the ass. Have you ever blazed it or got fucking drunk and blacked out? Yeah, I've done both of those are from the high school days, definitely. But how soon Nolan will make a shitty movie? Nolan has yet to make a shitty movie. I mean, the shittiest movie he's made was pretty much from his widespread, mass market career was Insomnia to me. That was his only kind of lackluster movie. But I don't know. We'll see. What do you think about Kill Bill 3? Daredevil, Ben Affleck. I'm curious to see where Kill Bill goes with Part 3. I was never the hugest fan of Kill Bill movies. I've always preferred Tarantino in Pulp Fiction kind of movies. And Daredevil with Ben Affleck. It has a few okay scenes, but I would definitely like to see a reboot. Best movie ever: Godfather, Citizen Kane, Spider-Man 3, Shawshank Redemption. For me, the Shawshank Redemption out of all those. Spider-Man 3, Jesus, that is Satan's sins against the masses right there. Have you seen a Siberian film? If not, you definitely should. Yeah, I mean, there's just nothing about rape and torture porn in a film that gets me excited. I haven't seen an entire Siberian film, but I think the closest thing I've seen of a Siberian film is Spider-Man 3, because that was raping my eyeballs as I watched it. Hey, John, do you dislike Lord of the Rings movie trilogies? No, I don't. I just talked about that, actually. Have you seen Cowboys and Aliens? If so, do you think Olivia Wilde's eyes were digitally enhanced or something? I did see Cowboys and Aliens, very lackluster film. Jon Favreau, I would expect a little bit more from him, but Olivia Wilde, now that is a woman. That is something about her. She almost looks like an alien when you really look at her, and that's okay by me. I'd still, alien or not, which would bring me to another topic, but we don't have time. What music do you listen to? Do you have any CDs? I haven't bought a CD since 2006, man. But as far as music, I love movie soundtracks, scores. The Dark Knight Rises soundtrack, Hans Zimmer tones, especially like the theme from the movie The Rock. That just sounds badass. Also, I like Metallica, Killswitch Engage, Styx, AC/DC, classic 80s rock, rock ballads from the 80s. I mean, I'm pretty open to everything. Especially the song, Here I Go Again on My Own, Doing the Only Thing. Classic 80s songs like that just make me want to drive into the sunset. The last meal you ate is now illegal in your country. How fucked are you, John? If the last meal I ate, which was a turkey sandwich with potato chips, became illegal, I think I might be okay. How many chickens could you fit into a Batman Steel lunchbox? What the fuck? Who would win in a fight? Jason Statham, Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, or Ezio Auditore? Is he a UFC fighter, or am I talking on my ass? Off the top of my head, I would say Ezio Auditore. I don't know who that is off the top of my head. But I would say put Jean-Claude Van Damme in his prime. He's gonna kick all their asses. Chuck Norris, he's overrated. Come on. Can you make a funny noise? Not quite funny, more creepy and pathetic. Would you fight Jet Li? Yeah, I think I would. I'd get my ass kicked, but hell, at least I could say I got my ass kicked by Jet Li. Next question. Hey, John, do you have any 3 movies you consider unofficial trilogies? Like 3 movies that aren't trilogies but have something in common. For example, I consider The Rock, Con Air, Face Off, Nick Cage. Yeah, that's a good, Con Air. Yeah, okay. My 3 unofficial trilogies would be, Roadhouse with Patrick Swayze, Point Break with Patrick Swayze, and Ghost with Patrick Swayze. That's my 3. Have you seen the 3 King Kong films? If so, could you rank them, and which is your favorite? So you're talking about the original King Kong film, the stop-go animation, then you have the Jeff Bridges 1970s King Kong, then you're talking about the 2005 King Kong with Jack Black. I haven't seen the Jeff Bridges one in a long time. I do like the one with Jack Black in it. I really like that T-Rex fight scene. But I would say that's hard, man. The original is great; it's classic, but I'd rather watch the 2005 film. The Jeff Bridges one, I don't remember being that good. Have you seen the show Pee-wee's Playhouse or any of Pee-wee's movies? Yeah, I've seen all Pee-wee's movies. Actually, I have Pee-wee's Big Adventure over there, which is my favorite. You know what I did, Pee-wee? You know that tag that comes on a mattress that says "Don't cut it off"? Well, I cut it off. Oh no, Terry! What the fuck was that? My Pee-wee Herman voice? Large Marge, yeah. Oh man, I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I love it. Have you seen or got any of the Batman animated movies like Mask of the Phantasm? I have not seen all. A long time ago, I seen Batman Mask of the Phantasm. I haven't seen it in a very long time. I used to watch the animated series all the time as a kid, but I don't actually own any of the animated movies. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? Jesus, I don't know, man. In 20 years, I'm scared of the future. Not my own physical being, but where society is going, it scares the shit out of me. All these little hipsters sitting with earbuds, walking around in coffee shops, I can't. That's where it's gonna go, and I'm scared. Does it churn you on when you hear Justin Bieber's song? Yeah, it does, man. Why don't you try to become a working actor in Hollywood? Because I have no acting abilities. I mean, I could be a shitty B-rate comedic role, I guess, is the best friend of the guy who's getting married, but I'm trying to talk him out of it, and I'm trying to make him go to a strip club. That'd probably be... Yeah, I think that's about it. You know, if I lived in Hollywood, to be honest with you, I'd probably try to go to a few auditions just here and there. But I live in Indiana, so screw me. Have you ever seen The Big Country with Gregory Peck? No, I have not. Why is it that all the best actors are nuts? Mel Gibson, Tom Cruise, Christian Bale. I agree with you. There's a lot of egotistical assholes in Hollywood that are great actors. Tom Cruise is by far the most crazy son of a bitch. His mind has been brainwashed. I think there's something there. I think once your ego gets so big, it just kind of consumes you a little bit. Christian Bale, though, Christian Bale seems pretty cool. Especially, with the shooting that happened in Colorado, going to visit the patients. That's kind of cool for a big-name Hollywood star to kind of, take his time out and do that. So I think Christian Bale, even though he's had freakouts on the set before, but then again, I have temper too, so I think it would come out kind of like his does. Didn't he slap his mom? I don't know. My question is how big are you? I know you said is big in the past, but in inches. Take a pencil and use your imagination. Take this pencil right here and then break it in half, and there you go. All right. What are your views on the Matrix trilogy? Are you against the two Matrix? Okay. First of all, I love the first Matrix. Groundbreaking, original, great film. The other two, I have trouble getting through, to be honest with you. And the third one was kind of a big letdown. Have you ever fucked a hooker? Oh, I don't define hooker. What do you think? Will Batman die at the end of The Dark Knight Rises? I've talked about that on my other channel a lot, and I don't want to spoil it if anybody hasn't, so check out those videos over there. Hey Johnny boy, if Christian Bale asked you to play Robin in Batman 4, would you do it? Oh, and you'd have to say, holy rice cakes, Batman, you smell like bean dip. I don't know if I'd say that, but hell yeah, I'd play Robin. Give me a pair of green panties, and I'll do anything. I came out wrong, didn't it? No, it came out how I wanted it to. Have you ever had a sensual dream with Mila Kunis? I've never had a dream, but I've had thoughts. Who's hotter, Mila Kunis or Kate Upton or Melanie Inglis? Whew, that's hard. Kate Upton. That video on YouTube with Kate Upton on it, oh my god. I think I watched it like 17 times in a row. And then I finished, and then I could move on. Do you watch Film Riot on YouTube? Yeah, I'm actually sweating. It's like 90 degrees in here. Film Riot, yeah, they're great. Guys who talk about video production, I really do like them. I just wish that their videos took a little more time to really go in depth. But yeah, they're great. Another question. I bought my ticket for The Dark Knight Rises around May. My girlfriend and family thought I was insane. What do you have to say about this? I don't think they understand the love of Batman. So you need to break up with your girlfriend, tell her family that to mind their own damn business, but wear a Batman mask when you do it, so they get a sense that you're serious. Last question: do your friends and family watch your YouTube videos? If so, what do they make of it? It took me a while to tell my family about my YouTube videos. I kind of waited till they actually took off a little bit to tell them, so I could say, hey, look, assholes, people watch this, and they like it. Huh? Because a lot of people in my normal everyday life don't understand it, but you guys do for some odd reason. Everybody, like my girlfriend thinks it's kind of crazy and odd. But she's been in a few videos. She gets it. So my family supports it. How do you feel about the films of Stanley Kubrick and his influence on film today? What is your favorite of his? Stanley Kubrick. That guy almost foreseen the future when he made movies like 2001: A Space Odyssey and The Shining and Full Metal Jacket. I mean, phenomenal films. To pick a favorite of his, I will say my least favorite off the top of my head. Off the top of my head would probably be Eyes Wide Shut is my least favorite of his. Good movie. I watched it a few times, but definitely compared to his other films, not up to that standard. 2001: A Space Odyssey, that blew me away. That movie felt like he could see 30 years into the future. You said you liked The Warriors, but what do you think of The Wanderers? I don't think I've seen it. You don't need to list them because that's stupid, but if you've seen any, what are your favorite Australian movies? The Road Warrior. I'm sorry, but that is probably my favorite Australian movie off the top of my head, The Road Warrior. Jesus, that movie. Oh my god, man. That post-apocalyptic setting with... Oh, man. You want to get out of here? Talk to me. That's just a badass line. Let's see. What is the oldest film year in your collection, and what is your favorite old film? The oldest movie in my collection. I just found Small Soldiers, by the way. I just mentioned it before. It's back over here. I just seen it now. Oldest film in my collection. Wait. I don't know. I don't fucking know, man. The Wizard of Oz was what, 1938? Let's see. I don't know. I do not know off the top. I thought I had a black and white documentary silent film back there somewhere. I can't remember what it was for though. Oh, the original Scarface. The original Scarface from... What year was the original Scar? No, that's not it. I don't know. Maybe The Wizard of Oz. Let's keep going here. John, do you have a Facebook? By the way, guys, I do have a Facebook page. Check it out. That's where I post weird things. If you guys want to ask me any questions, ask it there. Right here, I think it says it's either right here or right there. That's my Facebook link. Go there. Plus, down below in the description, you guys will see a link to my Facebook. Okay, let's go really quick here. Okay, several questions. What do you think about Val Kilmer? Best Batman, man crush. Val Kilmer was a great actor. Over the years, he's kind of been doing a lot of B-rate movies, but Val Kilmer, I've never had a problem with. I've always kind of enjoyed his movies. What Dreams May Come with Robin Williams. What do you think? A phenomenal movie. Seen it a few times. Definitely interesting concept about heaven and hell. I always thought the little boy in What Dreams May Come was a girl. I don't know why. Okay, next one. I don't know who Tiny Todd is, and at first I thought he was your penis. Oh, well, it kind of is a metaphor for my penis. Tiny Todd's my little skeleton friend who actually, he ran away a few weeks ago. He's been calling my phone and hanging up. I don't know what's going on. Was watching Red Hood a few days ago and thought, wouldn't Jensen Ackles make a great Batman if they decide to reboot it? So anyway, my question to you, who do you want to play Bruce Wayne Batman in the reboot? Off the top of my head, I really don't know. That's a hard question. Can you please review the Spider-Man trilogy? Spider-Man 1 was okay. Spider-Man 2 was phenomenal. Spider-Man 3 was a pile of shit. Have you seen Clockwork Orange, and what did you think of it? Oh, there's another Kubrick movie. I thought Clockwork Orange was phenomenal. I mean, it's brutal, it's smart, but every time they show that scene where his eyes are open like that and he's watching the movie, it's like, it makes my eyes hurt. I don't know. Could you grow a beard like Tom Hardy? I grow patchy facial hair, and to grow it out, I would look like a burn victim. Can you do a Tom Hardy Bane impression? Actually, I did one of those. I did the whole thing on one of my videos. I can't do it without the voice thing, but here it goes. When Gotham is ashes, you have my permission to die. That sounded like shit, didn't it? I'm sorry. Let me try to get a little closer to the microphone and I'll try to do it. When Gotham is ashes, you have my permission to die. That still sounded like shit, forgive me. Anyway, let's keep going here. If you could have sex with either Scarlett Johansson or Emma Stone, who would you choose? Scarlett Johansson. And by the way, I live in Canada. You would not like it unless you're into hockey and beer. Yeah, I think I'd be okay with that. Free health insurance too, man. Do you have... let's see. What do you think of Django Unchained's trailer? I think that looks interesting. You know, a Tarantino film set in the West. I think I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm a Bengals fan too. How do you think their season will... How do I think the Bengals season will go? Probably fucking terrible, like it has for the last 30 years. I like Over the Top. You should, man. I think everyone should. Who is your favorite comic book supervillain? Bane was always one of my favorite villains, and I'm glad he was in the new Batman movie. What do you think about 2001: A Space Odyssey? I just talked about that earlier. What is your favorite subject in school? I always liked social studies and history. Both those interested me. If you could take one Hollywood actress to a nice seafood dinner, who would it be? I like how we're going to eat seafood. I think Natalie Portman could respect me and actually not feel like a money-grubbing whore. Have you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy? I would love to do stand-up comedy. You know, I've even wrote out a few bits here and there over the years, like little 3 or 4 minute segments. I would feel really scared to go up on that stage for the first time. But I should try at least one time in my life before I die. I'm gonna go up on maybe an open mic night and try it. Do you buy 3D Blu-rays, and how do you feel about 3D? Home 3D is not where I want it to be. Even in the theater, I find 3D slightly distracting. You know what? It takes away the picture quality, the resolution. It makes shit blurry. It just truly does. And home 3D, unless you give me an 85-inch screen, I'm not going to be into it. Plus, when I watch movies, I like to lay down. You know, I don't want to sit there straight up with my glasses on and sit there for 2 hours. So no, I don't like home 3D. How do you know when you become a YouTube partner? You just apply and they tell you, hey, you're a YouTube partner. But now they have this new thing where they're making everyone a YouTube partner. I'm not quite sure exactly how it works, but I applied and they told me. Do you ever get noticed on the street? I don't think I have never been noticed on the street. Do you ever use MySpace? Not since 2006. Do you ever watch tranny porn? Not since 2006. Okay. Which movie soundtracks do you recommend? The Batman movies, the Rock movie, Titanic's kind of heartfelt, Gladiator. Let me look at my movies, sorry. Back to the Future, great 1980s soundtrack. Also, the Karate Kid from the 80s soundtrack's phenomenal. The Mortal Kombat theme song, the techno, Raiden, Liu Kang. You guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, all those. Anything with Hans Zimmer in it's going to be pretty damn good. Will you ever review Point Break? You know what? If I ever do an old movie review, Point Break will probably be on the top of the list. Have you ever drawn dicks? Like from Superbad? Yeah, of course, all the time. I used to work at this place years ago, and I took the soap bar that was in the bathroom one time, and I drew a huge wiener on the mirror. By the way, my camera battery's dying, but let me figure this out. Hang on. Stick with me. Don't be scared. Because I'm going to plug in my... There we go. I'm going to plug this in so we can keep talking until the sun rises. Just got to figure out how to plug it in. Hang on. There we go. Okay. She's got juice. All right, let's keep going here. How did you meet Chris Stuckman? I talked to him about this one time. I was doing a Blu-ray update on my other channel, and I was talking about Broken Arrow, and he came across it somehow, and he's like, you know what? This guy likes Broken Arrow, subscribed. And then I ended up, we sent a message back to each other after that, and I made his original channel background for him. And he gave me a shout out, and then after that we kind of started talking on Skype every once in a while. So that's how I ran into him. Have you ever seen Cannibal Holocaust? I have not seen all of Cannibal Holocaust. There's just something about killing small turtles that never really got me off. Which actress do you think has the best fart factory? I like that. Anne Hathaway in that Catwoman suit looked pretty good. Also, Scarlett Johansson in her black little tight outfit looked pretty juicy. Who's your favorite Marvel character? Wolverine, I think, is the most badass. Have you seen the 2 Human Centipede movies? I've seen the first one. The second one, I never was interested enough to watch it. Which porn star would you choose to do dirty things with? Get creative, Johnny. Brianna Banks, Jenna Jamerson, young Jenna Jamerson, Tanner, I'm going blank here. Carrie Sable, Brie Olson. I know too much about this. Which one wouldn't I? You know what I mean? Probably answered this a lot, but what is your all-time favorite movie and why? I say at the top of my head, Shawshank Redemption gave me the most for my money. I also like Forrest Gump. I don't know why. It's so fun and fascinating to watch that guy's life story. I know. If you could murder any 3 celebrities, who would it be? I don't know. I really don't know off the top of my head who I would want to murder in Hollywood. Who would I like to torture? That's another story. But are you seeing the Dark Knight marathon? No, I didn't see the marathon of all 3 movies at the theater. If Spider-Man characters Mary Jane, Norman Osborn, and Harry Osborn ever appear in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, which actors should play them? I would hope the only one I want to appear in any of the movies would be Norman Osborn. And who would play him? No. I don't know. I can't think of the actor's name. The guy who was I can't think of his name. He was in the movie The Road. Or, not The Road. Yeah, The Road. What's his name? I can't remember his name. But the main actor from that. Name your 5 favorite bands. I've already done that. What is your favorite Western? The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. If you could be any superhero other than Batman, who would you be and why? I would love to be... I mean, who the hell wouldn't want to be Superman? The guy's clean cut, muscular build, has every power. I mean, why the hell not? Hey, John, have you ever played Batman Arkham Asylum? I played Batman Arkham Asylum just a little bit. I couldn't really get into it. You know, it seemed kind of repetitive. I want a different kind of version of a Batman game. Do you ever eat mac and cheese with a spoon or fork? I eat it with a fork. Are you excited for Star Trek 2? I'm very excited for Star Trek 2. I love the first one, and it took me a few viewings of the first one to really fall in love with it, but I can't wait to see where they go with Star Trek 2. What do you think about the Wild Wild West? Oh, what do you think about the movie Wild Wild West with Will Smith? That movie, I remember seeing that movie years ago, even as a kid, and I was like, that movie sucks ass. That was such a junk-ass movie. And I'm going to tell you guys something interesting. Look up the Kevin Smith story about Wild Wild West and how the producer of that movie had the original idea to put a big spider in a Superman movie, and then he just put it. Yeah, the producer of that movie is just a talentless piece of shit. Yeah, look that up. Do you ever spank the meat monkey? Yes. Have you ever seen the Magnificent Seven series? I've seen parts of it. I don't think I've seen all of the series, though. Who's your favorite Marvel? I already answered that. Simpson years ago or Family Guy? The Simpsons will always go down in history as the best. But Family Guy I actually laughed at more. Any crazy high school, college party stories you could share? To be honest, not really. No, not really. No, I can't share them. I really can't. A lot of people would get pissed at me. Have you played any Batman games? Most of them. I remember when the Batman Begins game came out in like 2005. I played it like 3 times in a row. I don't know why. I just wanted to pretend like I was Batman. If a new and better movie format comes and replaces Blu-ray, will you still collect movies? If that ever does happen, I'm going to be extremely pissed. But here's why you don't have to worry about that. Because they're not even using the full potential Blu-ray yet. Yeah, half the movies that they transfer into Blu-ray aren't really remastered in 1080p. They're just kind of slapped in there, and the resolution isn't all there. So they're not even using it to its full potential. So the next format will be complete digital. What do you think about Watchmen? I think Watchmen's a great movie, and I've said it before. If they make another Batman movie, that's the tone they should keep. They should go for the comic book aspect of it, not be scared of the comic book, reality, but ground it in a serious matter, Have you ever seen Gummo? My little rooster goes cock-a-doodle-doo. Yeah, Gummo is a funniest piece of shit movie you can ever watch. They killed their parents and they have nice tennis shoes. Watch Gummo. Everybody should watch Gummo. It's such a... I remember watching it in high school and we just laughed about it all the time. Have you ever given a chick an Alabama Hot Pocket? I don't know what that is, but I'm sure I have in one way or another. Have you ever seen any of Todd Solondz? Have you ever seen any of Todd Solondz? If you haven't, I recommend you check out Happiness. Okay, I can't even pronounce his movie, so or I can't even pronounce his name, so probably not. Do you watch Smosh? Sometimes. Sometimes I get a headache though from watching it. Can you draw you and Tiny Todd as Batman and Robin? I probably could actually. I could draw that. Does Tiny Todd have a dark past like Batman? I never really dived into his past, but I think he killed his family in the 1980s. What are your thoughts on the 5 original Planet of the Apes films? If you have seen them, of course. I've actually not seen all of the original Planet of the Apes films. I've seen the original one with Charlton Heston, you damn dirty apes, and then I've seen the new one, but all the other ones in between I have not seen. And I think one day I need to sit down and watch those. You should run around with your bro in Batman and Robin costumes if you... Okay. Yeah, if I actually had a really good Robin costume... Actually, you know what I should take? I should buy a little pair of green panties at Walmart and a yellow cape and make my brother wear that and run around town. That'd be good. Okay. Have you heard that there may be a Batman reboot and Christopher Nolan is writing it? I've heard that rumor. I don't think he's still writing it. he might produce it, but I don't know. You know what? Get a new writer. I'm sorry. If you guys are gonna reboot it. You know, don't make it Christopher Nolan movie with a new director. You know. What is your first movie you ever owned on VHS or DVD? What are your top favorite X-Men characters? Wolverine's my favorite. Second favorite would be the Juggernaut. I don't know. I always liked the Juggernaut as a bad guy. As far as naming more, I can't off the top of my head. My brain's literally melting right now. First DVD I ever owned, I think, was actually Jurassic Park 3. I think that was it. Okay, question. No one asked you before. What is gonna happen to all this Blu-ray when you die? I actually wrote in a will once. I said, I left it to my mother. I said, if I die, take my Blu-ray collection and burn them. That way they intoxify the atmosphere and I live on through that somehow. Actually, you know what? That's not true. I didn't do that at all. I want them to bury all the Blu-rays with me. That way I'm selfish because I want them all to be with me. I don't know. Brazzers or Reality Kings? Bang Bros. How good of a wrestler were you in high school? I was an okay wrestler. I always made varsity. I remember at one point I finished within the top 5 in regionals. How did you start on YouTube? I started on YouTube. I started on the Flickpick channel. I watched a lot of people who talked about movies, and I was like, you know what? I think I can do that. So I just put up my first video. I was talking about some random bullshit. I think I was talking about the Toy Story Blu-ray or Steelbook. That was one of the first videos I ever did. I look back on it, I'm like, oh my god, what the hell was I thinking? And then a few videos after that, I kind of found myself, and I started doing Blu-ray updates and just shooting the shit about movies. And when I first started YouTube, I tried it out about a year before my Flickpick channel, and my first videos were just some old videos of me messing around with my friends, and I had like 10 subscribers, and I didn't really understand the concept of YouTube and how to make it work, but I tried it exactly 1 year later to the date, and it kind of, you know, subscribers were coming in, and it was nice. What is your favorite Pixar movie? Toy Story. Hey John, have you ever seen Heathers? Put a turbo dog in the microwave. Yeah, that's my Christian Slater impression. Yes, I've seen Heathers. What do you think of Game of Thrones, and are you going to get it on Blu-ray? I have not seen Game of Thrones. Right now, I'm watching Breaking Bad and the Walking Dead TV shows. Those are like the only 2 TV shows I really watch. If they made a Goonies remake and you could be any character, what character would you be and why? Maybe Sloth. Or I'd like to play the Corey Feldman character. How many sexual favors have you traded for Blu-rays? 1. Technically 1. What do you think of Grand Theft Auto video games? After a while, they got so big and so... They just... At one point, I remember them getting so big, they took too long to beat, and they were kind of overwhelming. Like San Andreas, I remember like thinking, oh my god, how the fuck am I going to get from... Like, I just got tired of it, and I couldn't finish it. What do you think... Do you think they will reboot Batman after a few years, and how mad would you be? I love the character Batman. If they want to reboot it, I'm all for it. Just make a good reboot. John, do you use a different camera to make these Q&As because there is no 720p on them? I use the same camera to make the Q&As. But what happens is they're so long and the file size becomes so big, is what I do is I lower the quality of it, and that's probably why there's no 720p. So... Sorry, if I did make them all 720p, I'd be sitting in front of my computer for 16 hours. Have you ever heard of the movie Frequency? Yeah, I actually own it, and I did a Blu-ray review on it not too long ago. What do you think of A Christmas Story? The best Christmas movie ever made. Ralphie, phenomenal. Don't shoot your eye out. I love The Christmas Story. I love you. Will you come to my house and hang out with me for a day? That kind of sounds frightening. Do you have a job, and how do you... Okay, yeah, I do have a job. I do work. If you could be any character from the Avengers movie, who would you be and why? I'd probably be Black Widow, and I just sit inside all day and fondle myself. I think being Thor seems like he has it the best, doesn't he? In The Amazing Spider-Man, who should play Norman Osborn? God damn it, somebody asked me that earlier. Viggo Mortensen. Is that his name? That's who I would want to play Norman Osborn. Tom Hardy or Christian Bale? Those are both great actors. Right now I'm kind of on a Tom Hardy kick, but Christian Bale has never really let me down in a performance. What do you think of the end credits of Spider-Man? That whole movie was chopped to hell. Like, they cut out a whole subplot from that movie and chopped it all together. So the very end of that movie wasn't that impressive to me. So, what do you think of gay people? I don't have a problem with gay people. I never have. I've never been a homophobe ever in my life. Gay people, they seem really friendly for the most part, especially flamboyant gay people. Especially, they're flamboyant, they're fun. Actually, I was on a bowling team with a gay guy who actually always told me and my friend to come back to his house because he had wizard statues, and then he bought us underwear with bowling pins on it one time, but that's a long story. I have no problem with gay people. If you had an extra dick, where would you put it? In my pocket, man, because you never know when you're gonna need it. Have you ever seen Dexter? I've never seen Dexter. I do want to check it out. If Carnage and Electro were in a Spider-Man movie, which actors would you want to play them? I would rather see Venom. Electro, I don't care about the villain of Electro. Carnage seems like a badass. As far as someone playing Carnage, I don't know. I really don't know who I'd want to play Carnage. It's a tough one. Okay. If there was what is sex? This will be the last question of the day. What is sex? What is sex? Technically, sex is when there's some kind of penetration between penetration or a Jesus Christ. My kids are not gonna like me because that sex talk is gonna be really awkward. What is sex? My definition of sex is all about brutality and power. Who do you want to play the next James Bond? I don't know. I think Christopher Nolan said he wants to make another James Bond movie, so maybe Tom Hardy. I think you'd put Tom Hardy in there. But imagine Christian Bale playing James Bond, huh? Huh? They might not do that because he's so well known as Batman, but Christian Bale's James Bond would probably be kind of badass. Who would win in a fight, Chris Nolan or James Cameron? James Cameron, man. James Cameron is a self-obsessed asshole who just happens to make good movies, so I think he would win in a fight. He'd probably grab Christopher Nolan by that little scarf that he always wears and chokes him with it. Hey, John, I have 2 questions for you. Have you ever walked out of a movie? Yes, I walked out of... no? I walked out of, what is that movie? The King's Ransom or something? I don't remember what it was called. If yes, which movie was it? What is your favorite part of the Dark Knight movie? My favorite part in the Dark Knight is the interrogation scene between Batman and the Joker. Okay, so I'm on page 30. Oh my god, I got like 20 more pages to go. Anyway, guys, those are all the questions for today. I'm sorry, it's getting hot in here. I'm sticky. And we'll answer more Q&A questions next week. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. And I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye.